We are seeing,
we're seeing the Zuko.
The Hattori going up against the Kaya. I mean, just look at that. I just keep on being right. I mean, there's not really much anything I can do. It's just great.
Yeah, look, you're just that darn good at the end of the day. Now, one thing though, we talked about the spear. Of course, he's going to have that with the Hattori, but like modern spear was kind of defined in South America. Who is the South American player here? Lores. He is going to have so much experience against the way that modern spear is played, but at least so far, it's been the sword coming out from Blaze, and he's been doing a great job. He has the damage lead. One more hit, and Lores is going to be in KO damage. Nice shutdown on that from Lores with the back-to-back. Neutralizes the juggle game, but all the way up on that soft platform, the defensive Kaya just barely holding on.
And I mean, Blaze is my man. I love Blaze, but truth be told, I think his way of playing Spear, it might still be a little bit still stuck in 2020. Okay. He has not really picked up that level of secret sauce that some of these top players have started figuring out. I would love Blaze to prove me wrong, of course. He's been playing better and better for every single tournament, so he is slowly but surely catching on. But the sword is where the magic is at for Blaze. Lore's able to pick up that knockout, though. We are 2-2 on this first game.
Blaze's sword was looking really good. That was the weapon that did almost all, if not all of the damage on that first stock, giving him the lead on this one. And this is from Blaze, who got 17th at the Autumn Championship just a few weeks ago in just EU. Now all of a sudden he's fighting for that top 32 winner's side qualifier match. And his sword is amazing. I didn't know Blaze had this sword in him.
This sword, I mean, it is absolutely crazy. But Lores, yet again, on this spear, trying to find any kind of damage that he can. I'm kind of just waiting for that moment where Lores is just going to show up, because so far Blaze, I mean, this show has been all Blaze. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before this is the Lores show.
Now, what we're getting from Lores here is that kind of modern spear that I talked about Knees not having at the beginning. Oh, that Zeus throw almost made a connection with Lores. But the modern spear that we saw Knees kind of move more into as the set went on, and it stopped being those like signature follow-ups that you play when you're playing Wushang. It was that standard jumping around, some nairs, some sidelights looking for the dodge. But Blaze is keeping this one going, of course, going back over to the sword. That's been his weapon of choice so far. He has, I swear, one of the cleanest swords I've seen in a minute, and it's coming from Blaze.
It is coming from Blaze indeed. It's from the Bryn, the Olgrim Extraordinaire. Sword has been incredibly clean so far, finding this anti-air right now, building up even more damage. He had a really, really good start, and he, at this point, I mean, he's just been keeping those even trades up. Lores, yet again, able to connect a D-Sig on the spear, though, to take that stock off, and Lores is definitely not out of the equation yet.
Now, we're seeing a lot of those like dash jump, fast falls, the dashing back and forth, the kind of dash landing. Lores is one of the players out there that does that more consistently. That movement right there.
The
he was in, he was out, he was around.
He
did it so quickly, and then he threw out a hitbox as well. He's not just like doing that in the moment, and it takes all of his brain power. He's able to incorporate moves, he's able to incorporate hitboxes, he's able to maneuver his hurt box around, and I think he does that. Might be the best in the world. He's able to execute it so consistently every time, and it just flows into his gameplay.
Lores, yeah, flow is the word that I'm looking for. Flow is the word that describes what just happened there. Blaze, as we mentioned, amazing start. Sword was looking so clean. Lores, you know, of course, he was not playing bad, but he was struggling a little bit. He was able to pick up those knockouts whenever it was needed, but at the very end, he picked up that bow and he just went home, dude.
The movement set the foundation, and the trappings on top of it were the bow choices that he made. Of course, those beautiful neutral lights that he was able to throw out, the extensions on his strings as well. The anti-air game was so good, and now we're seeing the spear really come alive here for Lores. Early on, 20 seconds in, he definitely has the damage lead so far, but Blaze isn't too far behind. There is a weapon spawn on the field. Neither one is making a move over to it. Again, we're seeing those hops across the stage from Lores. You never know if he's going to be high, if he's going to be low. Over on the edge, Blaze kept going high, and that's where Lores was, playing the spear like the helicopter that it is.
Just exploiting the fact that Blaze was going high every single time, throwing out Sair after Sair after Sair. There's not much you can do in that situation. Loris now patrolling the ground, and Blaze, I mean, he's still trying to recover from what happened last stock. He's not able to do so though, as Loris just keeps on going home with this bow. The bow that we've been talking about, it's looking so clean. Blaze, how is he supposed to recover from this?
He can't. Like, Loris does not give him a moment to breathe. Even after that whiff signature, Blaze hits the whiff, Loris hits the punish on it, and he finds the stock. He is not even truly deep in the orange yet, and he is up 2 stocks on Blaze. Loris has already leveled up from what we saw in the previous game, and that one was a victory.
Oh my god. Yeah, Loris.
Dude, he's just
on
in your face.
He's just in your face. I mean, flow state. He's in the flow state. Everything is connecting. He's able to just throw stuff out, and it's just working out for him. N-light after N-light, D-light into D-light. Everything is working out. Could this be a 3-stock? Blaze, please don't let it happen. Daresair coming out. Loris is still in the game.
No. The weapon toss the other direction, maybe expecting a dodge. Okay, Blaze does pick up the double D-light into recovery. But I love that, like, we're able to look at Lores's flow, like, from our position, and it's this beautiful movement, like a rushing river with these sharp turns in it. But to Blaze, it's like he's standing at the bottom of a waterfall, and he's just getting destroyed. The tons and tons of water are just raining down on him. He has no room to breathe, and Loris is now up 2-0. The spear was shut down. The sword, which was so successful in game 1, even though he took the L, still completely shut down, and Loris is in complete control.
There's just more and more. Blaze still going to be sticking to that Zuko for a final chance, a final game, and a final opportunity to be able to take this back and show the stage what he is capable of. Loris going off stage already with that dare, able to pick up some early damage. Blaze is on the sword. This sword hasn't been working as well as it was game 1.
It just got completely shut down. He only put out 106 damage on the sword, and he put out even less on spear. It was only 66, a total of 198 damage coming out from Blaze. Even though the dodge was burned, it's going to be so tough for Blaze to punish that successfully, so he just stays back, waits for the high recovery, and punishes that with the juggle game. Side air sending over to the edge. The sword of Blaze showing signs of life here. He definitely has the damage lead, but I'm just like eagerly awaiting that bow to come online. He's going to be looking for the weapon spawn now that Blaze has the spear in his hands. There is a spawn on the stage. Does he immediately go for it? No, and the side sig from Blaze means the stage control, the weapon control is up to Blaze.
And you know, Blaze, his sword last game around, we mentioned it, it doesn't necessarily have to be that his offense was bad. It could more so just be that his defense wasn't good enough to be able to deal with Loris. So we are kind of seeing this sword that we were seeing game 1 come back to life again. Doing great work so far, but Loris, with this anti-air, I don't think Blaze is going to be able to get much of a lead here.
Ooh, just barely getting the dodge through on that recovery, but it doesn't mean much ultimately as the D-Sig picks up. Blaze still does have the lead, but Loris is swapping over to the bow. Not going to be losing this one anytime soon unless he throws it away, which I don't really think he's ought to do.
Blaze able to pick up that side light, going for the D-light, even though he didn't have a read readied up. Still, quite evened out. It's any man's game, but I feel like it is so slowly but surely the scales are being tipped in Loris' favor as he just continues to take control. As I do say that though, Blaze is able to set up a pretty nice edge guard.
Yeah, Loris all of a sudden is really only finding 1 to 2 hits, oftentimes 1, and then Blaze is also finding 1 or 2 right back. So they've been keeping it very even so far. The damage lead just favoring Loris a frog's hair. He gets the falling side air, sends Blaze over to the edge, but he's not running away. Loris isn't quite in his face as much, or at least as dominantly as he was previously. Side sig is gonna get punished.
Dude, Loris keeps TCing back up, and I'm just not seeing the sidelight double D-light coming out from Blaze. A little bit too afraid, perhaps. He knows that Loris is really, really good at the wake-ups. He's good at keeping himself safe, so he doesn't really want to throw those sidelights out just because of how punishable they are. But I do want to see one of those come out eventually. Blaze still now on his last stock, scrambling to get this final knockout, but Loris finds the read, getting Blaze further and further into the red.
Nice side sig though. He's definitely keeping himself in this one. He's going to need a victory here if he wants to deny the 3-0 from Loris and move in. or at least have the attempt to move into the winner's side of top 32 here at BCX 2023. That's just the winner's side of top 32, and he has to come back against Lores here, who's right on the precipice. One more recovery will do it. There's the sidelight. You saw how far that sent. He tried to chase with the D-Light, the max range. There's the sidelight, still going for the D-Light follow-up. He waited just a second, but
it's not over.
Found the interruption, keeping himself alive.
Goes for the ground pump, but it doesn't connect. And Light, he just wants to throw him off stage for one last opportunity, but Loris with the Seer is going to be closing it out in 3-0 fashion. Blaze, he had opportunities, he was close, he had his moments, but Loris, he's just too consistent. His flow states are too massive, and it was just too much for Blaze to be able to handle.
Lores is cracked, man, and that's him getting the 3-0 victory after right before that, Blaze took out Vim Tankila.